You've come to the right place, traveler.
Alright lads, welcome on the channel, Cursedboy here. We finally have the hype week for Season 3 starting, and we got the first dev blog post that we're going to be talking about today, and we have all the new information about the new season league mechanic that it's going to be the Primal Hunt. It looks absolutely awesome so far, and a lot of good details have been dropped for us. We got a new rune to discuss about, we got primordial uniques, primordial exalted items, and everything else from the post, so let's get into it. Alright, so we got our first dev blog post for Hype Week for Season 3. Link of this, of course, will be down in the description for you to check it out as well. And we got some really good information about the new season mechanic, which is gonna be the Primal Hunt. First of all, this mechanic will be appearing into the campaign as well. I wasn't sure if they're gonna do that this time around, but we will have it during the campaign. You will be finding some rifts into your zone. You will go in. It's basically a new zone, a cavern as they call it. It's gonna have different types of enemies in there. You will kill them, and those drop bones. And at the end of the cavern, you find the rift beast. You kill it, and then you get some new materials out of the rift beast as well. Now there is a very new system when it comes to how we get our items here, along with the new rune of evolution, right? Let's talk about that, because that to me was very interesting. We didn't have something like that so far in the last epoch, and basically everything is going to be done through the Hunt Master Scavenger Bloodhound. So this one we'll be finding into the new Ancient Era Chapter 10 that they will introduce this season. This is where you want to go to find him for the first time. I'm guessing we will have access to him through the monolith anyway, but we'll have to find out. Maybe some things on the campaign will change as well, some of the dungeon skips or anything like that, so that we can get access to him a little bit easier. We'll see tomorrow, because tomorrow we have the campaign blog post, and if it's an interesting one, I will also make a video about it. Now, as you see here, we have the Hunter vendor here, and all of the primordial uniques will be sold through this vendor. There are no drops this time around. We are getting these bones here, as I said, from the monsters that you kill inside the caverns, and then we have those materials, 5 different types of materials that you will need to buy some of the uniques, some of the bugs here, the goodie bags, and rune of evolution. Now, the uniques will also be rolling, for legendary potential when you buy them, and of course, with this mechanic, the combo that we're using this season with the Farside Turtle, with the Gauntlet of Strife, and the Conquer Towers to make our perfect uniques, is gonna be even more powerful and needed. Now, when it comes to the goodie bags here, those have, affixes, exalted items, unique items, and stuff like that. I'm not sure how useful they're gonna be. The most useful that could be, depending on the values, of course, it could be the one that has memory amber. So while we are blasting through echoes to get our rift beasts and our materials for everything else, you might be able to also farm a little bit of extra amber. We'll have to find out. We'll see when we do the testing in the actual season. Now, as I said, those 5 materials will be dropping only from the rift beasts. And the rift beasts also have an evolution, a little bit of a different mechanic like we have with the current mechanic with the Nemesis, right? As you can see here, you will be choosing an evolution that guarantees you some of the new materials, and also adds more abilities and some guaranteed loot as well. So you can get items, you can get glyphs, shards, and probably a few more. We're gonna have a few of those evolutions, I'm guessing. You can choose up to 4 evolutions at the start, and there are gonna be ways to increase that number. As you can see here, it's up to 6. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the maximum. They're not mentioning the maximum level of evolution that you can get. Each time, of course, the beast will get stronger, etc., etc. You know the drill with the Nemesis. Now, this is a very interesting thing. I did not expect to get something like that again, mainly because I feel like after 6 or 7 evolutions, the beasts are gonna be fairly challenging, and I'm looking forward to it as well. And also because you're choosing a guaranteed drop loot, you will be nesting those drop loots, right? So the last evolution, it's gonna be dropping everything that you have picked before, and that's really cool in my opinion. It's gonna make them so a little bit better for target farming, let's say, as well in some occasions. We'll see and how that goes as well. Now, the most important part that I want to talk about, that we have seen 3 primordial uniques already: the relic, the ring, and the amulet from the trailer. They look awesome. The primordial uniques have a very different design into them. They're not generic uniques that you just slap into your builds. You need to build around them and build your characters around them, and I'm really looking forward to cooking some builds with them. We already started on stream yesterday, and yeah, we're gonna do more planners about those new items for sure in the near future. Now, I want to talk about the new rune of evolution, because this is the big part. The Rune of Evolution gets any exalted item with at least 1 tier 7 affix, and it makes that tier 7 affix into a tier 8 affix, which is basically a new sealed affix that you can only get this way. If you have multiple tier 7 affixes on your item, it will choose randomly one of the 2 or one of the 3 if you have 3 tier 7 affixes, which means that double tier 7 exalted items will carry a risk with this Rune of Evolution. But if you have, let's say, a tier 7 affix and 1 or 2 tier 6 affixes, you might want to get that tier 7 affix, if it's a useful one for your build, as a tier 8, and then play around with the tier 6s. Maybe you can even Rune of Redemption after the fact, right, so that you don't affect the tier 7. So there are a few nice crafting processes around this. Those are items that they will take a while though. As you can see here, the cost is 16,000 ancient bones. Of course, we don't know the drop rate, and we also need 35 and plus 1 material. I'm guessing this is gonna be one of those that we get a little bit harder, probably from the latest evolution or something like that. But there is another gimmick here with the evolution from tier 7 to tier 8. You know, most of the affixes, they have a roll associated with them, a range that they can roll. Now the thing is, the tier 7 to 8 affix will roll 50 to 100% based on that tier 7, right? So if you have, let's say, 100% increased damage over time on an affix, and you make it tier 8, that will become 150% or up to 200%, right? And of course, being sealed, you cannot really modify it after that. You cannot refine it or anything like that. Now, I'm not sure, because they don't mention it. I'm hoping that this is gonna work how it usually works. If it keeps the roll range, or if it works a little bit different, we're gonna find out. But this is super interesting for many reasons. First of all, as we've seen from the trailer earlier a few weeks ago, you can get the plus level skills to tier 8, and the hybrid affix that those have is actually very, very important. For example, Chthonic Fissure levels for a body armor come with an increased damage over time hybrid affix, which means you can get over like 200% hybrid affix. For Electrify on a Sentinel, you can get up to 360% electrified chance on a champion regalia body armor, for example, right? So there's gonna be a lot of good things that you can do with the Rune of Revolution. Keep in mind, this seems to be a fairly expensive one, and you might need more than one so that you can get your perfect items. That means that you need to find the exalted items, etc, etc. Finding the perfect, the good exalted items this season is gonna become even more important if you're planning on playing MG. Keep in mind that you know, the best bases with very strong tier 7 affixes and good other affixes as well, they're gonna be expensive. Expect those items to be over 1 billion very, very fast in the league this season, in my opinion, because those are gonna be the items that people are gonna be grabbing through the market to make them as a tier 8, right? It's not gonna be just about slamming the season, at least that's our hope, because, and this is my only gimmick about the whole system and all the posts that we got. So when it comes to primordial items, exalted and uniques, we can only use one, and that is shared between the exalted and the uniques. Now, in my opinion, that's a little bit harsh. Right now, itemization in last epoch has become a little bit weird because exalted items have lost a lot of their value. You need a lot of effort to craft good exalted items, right? And you don't really get rewarded. I was hoping this system, this new system with the primordial exalted items, would be something that would make us go a little bit away from the legendary items that we had this season so much into our builds, pretty much full legendary items on every single slot and no exalted items, and go into a little bit of a different gearing process and mindset. But I'm not sure if that's gonna be the case. We've already seen, you know, the primordial unique ring that is associated with the set ones, and yeah, that's gonna be a little bit weird. I was hoping that the primordial uniques and the primordial exalted items would have different limits. I was hoping for like 1 or 2 limits on the exalted and maybe 1 unique. But this is what we get. We're gonna find out and we're gonna play with it. It is definitely a very nice system. It feels like a very good expansion, let's say, to the champion affix system as well, because you don't need to farm the affixes as a drop and also try to get a good base. You can just get the good base with your tier 7 and just make it a tier 8. You can also do set shard affixes, by the way, as a tier 8. That's what the devs said on Discord, because this was one of the first questions people asked. I don't think we can do experimental affixes yet, but we'll find out. I'm not even sure about set item affixes, but the dev said that this would be possible. So if you havoc set shard affix into tier 7, then you can use a Rune of Evolution and make it to tier 8. So that would be awesome to see what kind of tier 8 set shard affixes could be game defining for us on our build. Now, apart from the new system, we also have the new Twitch drop campaign that it's gonna be happening from 21st of August to 25th. We have some really cool images here and cool MTXs. We're gonna get some portraits. We have the most MTXs out of Twitch drops this time around. So come season 3, make sure that you tune into Last Epoch on any stream. I would like you to be on my stream, of course. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Get your cosmetic tweaks to MTXs for your game as well in the process, and have a good league start. As I said, tomorrow is about the campaign, and we also have another blog post coming for Minion AI and Necromancer, etc., which I'm really looking forward to it. I will see you in the next one, guys. Season 3 hype has been started, and it's not gonna stop anytime soon. Bye bye.